Tree counts down, green lights on both sides, and off we go. .797, 81.6 miles an hour as Cade stops the clocks at 12:24, 51.8 miles an hour. It's a thrill and it's fun. It's a really good time when you are 7 years old and get to strap on the hat, get in your race car, and go down the racetrack like the big guys do. Cade is loving every minute. The cool factor just stays high at Mocan Dragway. The Grumpy's Toy Monza tribute car here on the tower side in the O'Reilly lane. And the original second generation F-body Camaro Michael Baker over in the redemption lane. Test and tune on a Friday night right before funny cars go down the racetrack in their last shot at qualifying tonight. The total last shot will be tomorrow afternoon. Wheels up and rolling. Great looking launch for the Grumpy's Toy Monza. And up at the top end of the racetrack, 950 at 117. Top speed 132 miles an hour at the 1,000-foot point of the racetrack. Double shot of S10, actually S15 on the O'Reilly side, S15 GMC Sonoma. Ty Stovall from Miami. Mike Barker's from Sarcoxy. He's in the S10 over in the redemption lane on the pit side. Funny cars to the lanes. Scott Drager, 63 Falcon in the redemption lane. John Dost, Spring Hill, Kansas, 68 Camaro in the O'Reilly lane. All right, racers, if you're needing fuel, the fuel station will be open for 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes at the fuel station. Be sure and get over there and get those jugs filled so you're ready for action in the morning. Fuel station is open for 30 more minutes. '55 Chevy with a big block providing the motivation. Bruce Timchuk. Tyler Van Lant from Olathe, 99 Mustang. '55 Chevy on the right, 99 Mustang on the left. And we are in test and tune on a Friday night. A great night to be at the drags. Funny car qualifying coming up in a moment. Funny cars, you should be in the staging lanes now for your last shot of the night. Second round qualifying, there's only 3. Got 17 cars that have recorded a time. Only 16 cars will make the program. All right, so we are just a few moments away from right now. Nitro Nick front in the bucket list car is number 1 with a 391 with a 3. Second is Ken Singleton in the high risk Monte Carlo at 396. Those two cars, the only ones so far dipping under 4 seconds. You can expect some more 3s before the night is over and certainly before the weekend is over. Alan Middendorf sitting in the third spot at 405 with a 0. Ronnie Young in the Blue Max, number 4, 405 with an 8. Nancy Matter in the fifth spot, 423 with a 7. Chuck Lofton in the sixth spot. Nothing but power Mustang went down the track at 4.24 seconds. Brandon Lewis in the Attitude Adjuster car in the seventh spot at 430. And Jim Gifford in the Fool's Gold Duster, 448 with a 6, good enough for the last spot in the Rodax Custom Coffee A field so far. I fully expect this deck to be shuffled again tonight and then again tomorrow. Now, right now, the Prairie Fire car, 456, number 9. Matt Nissen, number 10. First car down the racetrack, put a good number on the board, and it winds up in the 10th spot, which is second in the Alky Digger B field for the moment. Ron Ohms, third in the B field with a 468. Clay Cunningham, fourth. 473 in the Still Crazy. Dan Butheris in the 13th spot, lucky 13, 498, as he got the grudge match win over Jordan Baloo. Chris Schneider in the Brutus Machine, 507, good enough for the 14th spot. Jordan Baloo in the 15th spot at 510. And Jeff Cameron in the Magnolia Missile in the 16th spot at a 576. Rick Kraft in the Invader recorded a time. He's right now in the first alternate position. Fred Farndon did not record a time. And we didn't have a run down the racetrack by the Nitro Clown, the Smoky Bear, and I think a couple of others. But we are just a little bit away from the second round of funny car qualifying. Monty Grace didn't record a time as he had to shut off that Man of War. So that's all of our cars right now. They're coming back. Second round qualifying in a moment. Funny car, second round qualifying. The push road is open. It's ready for you. We'd like to get you paired and down the racetrack shortly for this last shot at it tonight. One more shot tomorrow, race fans. And we'll go into eliminations where 2 go down and 1 comes back. Starting at 2 o'clock. 7 classes in action tomorrow, so it's going to be wall-to-wall drag racing. Definitely want to come back, get here early, get yourself a spot, bring your friends and your family. Let them know that the racing at Mocan is out of this world exciting. For Funny Car Chaos, presented by Red Line Shirt Club and the Best of Texas Barbecue Sauce. Once again, racers, if you need racing fuel, we have it on site here at Mocan Dragway. The fuel station is open, but only for a few more minutes. So if you need to get those jugs filled with quality racing fuel, you can check with Haas over at the fuel station, and he'll be open for just a little longer. Don't dilly-dally around, because they are closing it up in just a few minutes at the fuel station. All right, race fans, you can see them. We got funny cars in the lane, so we're going to light them up here very, very shortly. We're waiting for the track crew to say we are all good on the track prep. You can see the truck heading it back this way. Looks like they're applying a little more traction compound. And so once that's had a minute to dry and cure, then we will be lighting up our funny cars as we continue. On day one of Funny Car Chaos, we're excited that you're here at Mocan Dragway. 87.9 on your FM dial is where you can get all the public address broadcast on your static-free FM radio as we're broadcasting from high atop the Tower of Power, KAOS FM 87.9. All right, if you've been running around out in the pits or getting you some of those event shirts, good for you. Time to head them back to the grandstands or the fence, whatever your favorite spot is to watch the drag races, because we're about to get some funny car qualifying action going on right about now. S&W Performance Group, 60 years in business. They've got a contingency prize for our winners and runners-up in both the Rodax Custom Coffee A field and our Alky Digger B field of Funny Car. So you'll be picking up your winnings up here in the tower tomorrow afternoon once the racing is done. We want all of our fans to enjoy the racing with us, spend the day, spend into the evening. As we have about 100 race cars going to be in the house tomorrow. We'll light them all up tomorrow at 11:30, and then we'll go time trials at noon with qualifying to follow, and round one of eliminations beginning about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be a great day to be at Mocan Dragway, and we look forward to seeing you there. Here we go. Jordan Baloo and Matt Nissen going to lead us off. This is your second round of Funny Car qualifying here at Race 2, the Best of Texas Barbecue Sauce Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour presented by Red Line Shirt Club. The Dry Hop King, Jordan Baloo from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, backing up that supercharged big block Chevy-powered Chevy Nova on the tower side in the O'Reilly Auto Parts lane. Matt Nissen running down a dream in the Corvette from Alma, Nebraska. Side by side, bow ties. Both cars Both cars running on methanol. Dry hop king Jordan Baloo loves to do the dry hops. Putting on a great show for our fans of Funny Car Chaos. Matt Nissen was the first guy down the racetrack. Made it look easy as he went down the racetrack in 4.63 seconds. And Baloo was down the track in 5:10. Let's see what they've got now. They would love to move up the list. Here's the second round of qualifying. Using up all the racetrack in the Baloo Thunder, but the Corvette running down a dream. 457 picks it up 0.06 of a second at 151.6 miles an hour. Jordan Baloo will not improve his time as the car went left right at the hit, got out of the throttle, kept it off the wall. We like that. And Baloo stays with his 5:10 from the first time down the racetrack. And Matt Nissen goes from 463 to 457, but stays in the number 10 spot.
Yep. Hey, I appreciate it a lot. No problem. Glad to help out. All right. And if you need more, let me know.
So once we're clear on the top end, I can see the right side, passenger side door of the Baloo Thunder
See ya.
as he comes to rest. Not quite off the track. So once we are clear at the top end, we've got more funny car action coming up for you. So Jordan Baloo, he started this round in the 15th spot. He's still there. Matt Nissen running down a dream, the car from Nebraska. He was in the number 10 spot. Almost moved up one spot to number 9, but not quite. 457 still keeps him number 10. Behind the Prairie Fire car at 456. Right behind the water box and ready to light once they get the signal. We've got Nick Johnson, another car from, another driver anyway from Nebraska, set to bring that Mustang up. Ron Ohms is going to be in the Streakers ride.
They're messing about. Well, they can't. The rear truck can't get around in the grass because they're running up next to each other, so they got a real cluster going on.
Streakers ride is number 11 on the list as he had a 468 first time down the racetrack. And, of course, Nick Johnson 2 spots ahead in the 9 spot, 456. So another pair of methanol-fueled cars are coming your way next. Having a little challenge getting the Baloo Thunder car off the racetrack up at the top end. So got to get the all clear. And I guess we have as the fires are lit. And here we go with the Camaro and the Mustang. Big block Chevy providing the power in the Mustang funny car, the Prairie Fire. And 511 cubic inches of Keith Black Hemi underneath the Camaro body of Ron Ohms. So the parachute is out on the Prairie Fire car, so they will have to shut that one down. So a solo shot for Ron Ohms in the Streakers ride. Nick Johnson will not get the chance.
That's the batteries.
Not just the parachute, the batteries coming out on the Prairie Fire. Ron Ohms in the Camaro does his burnout on the tower side in the O'Reilly lane. Streakers ride 468. First time down the racetrack, going to try to pick up the tempo just a little. Take it on home and down around 4.4 seconds. It's probably the game plan they've got in Streakers ride. Let's see. As this team have been working together for a long, long time. They have a lot of fun together, and they have got one quick, fast, gorgeous alcohol funny car. So the Prairie Fire comes back to life as they get everything put back together. So I guess they will get the opportunity to see if they can move up. Streakers ride and the Prairie Fire on a Friday night under the lights funny car qualifying action at Funny Car Chaos Mocan Dragway. Smoking on a Friday night. Johnson and Ohms bringing up the ribs, pulling it into the ready position. Fire out like a shot. And at the top end of the racetrack, 468 to 481. So neither driver improves their time from the first go. So they will finish the round just where they started. Johnson in the Prairie Fire still number 9. And Ohms in the Camaro still number 11. Amazing that they actually got the Prairie Fire car in position to go down the racetrack after the little mishap there at the beginning. But they got it done, got there first. Didn't improve the time, but they did manage to get down the racetrack. So looking up at the top end of the racetrack, looks like there might not be a delay this time as we've got the cars off the track. And we'll go back to another pair coming up as we continue with this second round of funny car qualifying on Friday night. Show them some love. That was a lot of work to get that Prairie Fire car put back together right quick and get a chance to go down the racetrack. So Streakers ride and Prairie Fire. The crew's on the way to pick up their drivers on a Friday night. All right, so we've had 17 cars record a time. So far, 4 cars down the racetrack and 4 cars staying in the same spot that they were as no improvements made in their performance. So they wind up on the qualifying list exactly where they started out. More cars yet to go. See if we can shuffle this deck a little more. Our funny car competitors coming back from the top end of the racetrack to get the service work done that they're going to do before they put them in the trailer for the night. And, of course, we'll open up the gates in the morning. We'll have Thunder at the Can starting at 11:30. You want to be here for that. Great day of racing as we've got 7 classes in action. It's going to be wall-to-wall racing from 12 noon until about 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock tomorrow night. We'd like to be able to send you home with a smile without having been at the racetrack an excessive amount of time, but it's going to be much fun. At the races here tomorrow, if you want to get that VIP seating right in front of the tower, you can check with them. Down behind the tower, they will get you your credentials so you can sit right in front of the tower. There's not a bad seat in the house, but if you want this VIP seating, the proceeds go to Core Ministries, a great organization that takes care of racers and their families in times of crisis and in times of need.
Zip.
All right, all clear on the top end of the racetrack, so we are good to go with more funny car qualifying here at Smokin' Mocan Dragway. That, my friends, is the sound of pop in the tank. Big noise from Illinois. That was a famous funny car. Back in the day, this is a big noise from Illinois, Columbia, Illinois to be precise. Alan Middendorf drives the American Outlaw. He's your points leader in funny car chaos. Alan Middendorf with a big Hemi running on healthy doses of nitromethane fuel. Heats up the tires in the O'Reilly lane. Dan Butheris, the Ratitude Chevy Lumina with the supercharged big block Chevy on methanol. Got the grudge match win on his first time down the racetrack in the first qualifying shot. Trying to get the car into reverse. Seem to have a little issue with the car going into reverse right now. Ratitude. Fire goes out. The American Outlaw. All right, Butheris gets the car relit. He's backing up. American Outlaw car, the Nitro machine, heading towards the starting line. As Butheris in the Ratitude had a problem with the car, either had to restart it or had to get it into reverse. He's back at the starting line now. Got it turned around, in forward, moving towards the starting line. Probably just about to turn on that three-stage bulb. If there's any waiting going on, you ain't waiting on me. Middendorf went down the racetrack in 4.05 seconds. He currently sits number 3. I can guarantee you Alan is thinking number 1 right now. Here we go. Clicks it off a little early, goes 401 and improves 160 miles an hour. 501 for Dan Butheris. Dan, on his first time down the racetrack, went 498. Goes down the racetrack in 5:01 at 141. Had the best seat in the house to watch the American Outlaw go down the racetrack 2.66 seconds to the half-track point, 105 to the 60-foot. Clicks it off early. You can tell that with those nitro cars as the fire goes out. But you gotta love those header flames coming out over the roof, over the wing on that funny car. 4:01. Middendorf improves by 0.04 of a second, but still finds himself in the number 3 spot in the Rodax Custom Coffee A field of funny car qualifying. Show them some love as they go down to pick up the American Outlaw and the Ratitude. Great job by both race teams.
Right side, closer to
So far, Middendorf the only one to improve his time, but winds up staying in the same spot. Still looking for that 3-second elapsed time, but as you can tell, since he keeps clicking it off early, there's more there. Much more there, perhaps. Way out front, they're on the brake lights. And the flashing lights don't get on the brakes too hard. Okay.
They can't find it.
So the word is there's a little debris on the racetrack. That's why the flashing lights out there and the track crew out there making sure there's nothing to run over. When you're going 200 miles an hour, you really don't need to be running over a piece of another car out on the racetrack. So just as soon as they find the debris and get it off the track, we'll get an all clear from the top end and go back to funny car qualifying. Nitro Nick still on top, 391. Ken Singleton, number 2, 396. Alan Middendorf, number 3 at a 4:01. As he clicked that rascal off early, goes 4:01, 160 miles an hour. Saving some more for tomorrow. You can bet you'll see it tomorrow when they bring that American Outlaw to life in qualifying and eliminations competition tomorrow. Going to go back to qualifying as soon as we get the all clear from our track staff at the top end of the racetrack.
They're on the move and they'll be cleared momentarily.
When we are good to go, then we're going to light some more up. How you liking funny car qualifying here at Mocan?
Track is clear.
All right, here we go. Track is clear, so we are going to hear some cars coming to life here in just a moment. Light them up. All right, race fans, the far is lit. Here we go with our next pair. Here we go, Ken Singleton, defending champion from 2018. Couple of alcohol-fueled machines going at it. The Flying Butcher, Chris Snyder, brings the Brutus Mustang up over there on the redemption side. And defending champion from 2018, Ken Singleton, brings the high-risk Monte Carlo up on the tower side in the O'Reilly Auto Parts lane. Brad Anderson Hemi, 526 cubic inches in the high risk. 452 cubic inches of Brad Anderson Hemi in the Brutus. Right now, Chris Snyder sits number 14. While Ken Singleton sits number 2, thinking number 1. Ken Singleton's motto, lead follower, get out of my way. And he is looking for a spot on top of the list. Let's see if he can get it. Friday night funny car qualifying. Here we go. Almost there. At the top end of the racetrack, we've got a 386, 198.68 miles an hour. I think I might have told you that was going to happen. 492, 139.75 miles an hour. Ken Singleton, get out of my way. 386, a new number 1, new low ET and top speed. 386 with a 198.68 miles an hour. High risk comes to play for keeps. And the backup girl really fired up down there as they celebrate that number 1 qualifying shot by Ken Singleton. Look at Chris Snyder. The Brutus car goes 492, 139.7. Made a good straight run down the redemption lane and improved his time. He was at 5:07 earlier. Now he's at 4:92, so he goes from 14 to 13, pushes Dan Buthera's back from 13 to 14 as they swap spots. And Nitro Nick goes to number 2, while Ken Singleton takes the number 1 spot. There's a lot of fired up folks in that tow vehicle. Let's hear it for Team High Risk. Low qualifier, top speed, 386 and 198. Getting close to that 200 mile per hour mark.
Okay.
And about 500 from the low ET from last year. And it's early. Lots of race cars to go down the racetrack tomorrow. And a few more tonight. Best dressed backup girl competition taking place through the weekend. Brought to you by Just Dirty Racewear and Still Crazy Racing.
He'd like to keep going for a little longer.
I mean, I don't mind. I just don't want to stay out.
So far, race fans, a little bit of shuffling of the deck going on here in qualifying as the second of 2 runs tonight for our funny car competitors. 7 classes running tomorrow. We've got 2 classes of funny car plus a second chance for those who don't qualify. But after tonight, There'll be one more shot at shuffling the deck for those who are on the outside looking in to have the opportunity to make either the Rodax Custom Coffee A field of funny cars, the top 8, or the Alky Digger B field, 9 through 16. It's a 7-race series here in 2019. Best of Texas Barbecue Sauce, Mr. John Hale and his team bringing us the championship tour. And Randy Renew and Team Redline Shirt Club presenting sponsors, as we have got plenty of racing left to do this year. We're going to go from here to Amarillo Dragway coming up at the end of May. If you want to follow us on our Facebook page, you can find us at Funny Car Chaos. There'll also be a page for each and every event. www.funnycarchaos.com is where you can keep up with all the entries for every single race. And that list continues to grow as we get deeper into the season. As we had 26 cars pre-entered for the race here at Mocan. Had just a few that were unable to show as they had problems getting here. But we've got almost 24 funny cars here at Mocan Dragway tonight and this weekend, going for the points in the Best of Texas Barbecue Sauce Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour presented by Redline Shirt Club. If you haven't got your event shirt, be sure to get those before they run out. The event shirts are way cool. You got to get that Funny Car Chaos swag. And you can get it on either side of the racetrack at the Redline Shirt Club kiosk. It's got all the lights on it over there on the pit side, and you can find another one of the Redline Shirt Club kiosks over here on the tower side right behind the tower. Jim Gifford, Greentown, Pennsylvania, brings the Fool's Gold Duster up on the tower side, the O'Reilly lane. Brandon Lewis from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Attitude Adjuster. Brandon Lewis went 4:30 with an 8. First time down the racetrack in that beautiful 69 Camaro you see on the pit side. His wife, Jessica, staking her claim for the best dressed backup girl. Gotta say, I think she's doing rather well. What do you think? Jim Gifford, Fool's Gold Duster. Beautiful car out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Went down the racetrack in 4.48 seconds. That car is currently holding the number 8 spot. So number 7 is the Camaro. Number 8 is the Duster. Both of these cars set on kill, looking to move up the list. Neither driver happy with their performance. They're running in the mid 4s, and they're thinking low 4s, high 3s. So watch what we've got now. Jim Gifford, 4th in points. Driving a different car than he raced at our first race of the season, but he's serious about chasing his points championship. Last shot of the night for these two. Jimmy Gifford on the left. Candles lit, and we are down the racetrack. That's more like it. 4:11 with a 5, 165.5 miles an hour for Brandon Lewis. The Attitude Adjuster goes 105 to the 60-foot. Both cars 105 to 60. 274 to the half track for the Attitude Adjuster and 279 to the half track point for the Fool's Gold. 171 mile per hour top end charge for Jimmy Gifford and 4.25 seconds. So a 4.25 would move Jim up to the number 7 spot, but he'll get bumped back to the number 8 spot because Brandon Lewis with the 411 goes all the way up to number 5, pushing everyone back. So all that, and Jim Gifford still number 8, and Brandon Lewis goes from number 7 to number 5. Great looking pair of cars going down the racetrack, and they were getting it done side by side. That's some outstanding action. Let's hear it for our teams as they go to pick up their drivers. Great job, Fool's Gold and Attitude Adjuster. All right, race fans. The competition is out of this world in our funny car competition, but have you noticed the competition in the best dressed backup girl competition has stepped up about 10 notches as our competitors have brought the show to Mocan. Got a single coming up, and then we're going to have a pair going down the racetrack. Funny car qualifying continues as the decks shuffling continues to go on. Ken Singleton moves from second to number 1. Brandon Lewis moves from 7 to 5. Chris Schneider moves from 14 to 13. Got 3 cars left to go down the racetrack. We'll see if any of them are some of those that haven't recorded a time. Then this deck could get shuffled even further. All right, race fans, look like the Nitro Clown is going to be coming up next. It'll be Dave Gallegos in that 69 Camaro. They were here last year. Had a very challenging outing, but they made the best of it and pitched in to help play it loud. Fred Farndon get the runner-up spot at our race here in 2018. So Nitro Clown, Dave Gallegos. And the Gallegos family going to make their first shot coming up next in the redemption lane. Manhattan, Kansas. Hometown for the family Gallegos. Stone Setters Masonry, the family business, providing all the cash for the Go Fast goodies. Another nitro burning car set to come up to the line next. .386, the number at the top of the list. That belongs to Ken Singleton. So we've got 2 cars under 4 seconds. Ken Singleton has done it twice. .396 and then .386. And Nitro Nick Polison has got a .391. He's still in the second spot in the Rodax Custom Coffee A field. The fire is lit on our next car. Dave Gallegos from Manhattan, Kansas has not made a qualifying run so far. He is in the 69 Chevy Camaro with a big Hemi for power, burning big doses of nitromethane as he comes into the water. Here it's the Nitro Clown. Sounding strong on that burnout. The black Camaro, stealthy looking rascal out there. Ms. V, the backup girl. Lots of experience being a backup girl, and she is from Arkansas, comes up for this event each year. Dave Gallegos, lots of nitromethane being burned through that Hemi. Let's see what they've got. They haven't recorded a time. This is their first run of the weekend. You've seen Joe Gallegos run his altered a few times down the racetrack, but Dad's got his ride now. The Nitro Clown car going to try out the redemption lane. All it takes is 386 to go to the top of the list. Let's see what Team Nitro Clown can do right here, right now on a Friday night. Tire smoke at the hit. Idles it down the racetrack, so he will post a time, just not the one he was looking for. Tire smoke at the hit, so Team Nitro Clown will retool, retune, and be back for the last qualifying shot tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to see if they can put that Chevy Camaro into either the A field or the Alky Digger B field. A couple of alcohol cars coming at you next. Looks like it's going to be the Magnolia Missile and the Still Crazy. All right, so no change in the qualifying list right there. Still got the 2 3-second cars at the top of the list. And Jeff Cameron in the Magnolia Missile about to make a second pass. He's currently holding the bump spot in the Alky Digger B field. Clay Cunningham in the Still Crazy car right now, number 4 in the Alky Digger B field. Cameron went 576 after a loss of traction at the hit. Recovered nicely, but was only able to record a 576. Clay Cunningham went down the racetrack 4.73, which I think is the best elapsed time that the car has posted since he put the Hemi in the car in the off-season. Expecting greater things from the Still Crazy car.
He's working on pushing it.
Funny car qualifying on a Friday night at Smokin' Mocan Dragway. Here he comes. Clay Cunningham in the Still Crazy Dodge Avenger in the redemption lane. And Jeff Cameron in the Magnolia Missile Pontiac Firebird on the tower side in the O'Reilly Auto Parts lane. Both of these guys qualified. Jeff Cameron is in the number 8 spot in the Alky Digger B field. Clay Cunningham in the 4th spot of the Alky Digger B field. Both drivers looking to hook up, get down to the racetrack, and move on up the list as the qualifying continues here on Friday night. We've got our backup girls Patriotic young ladies that they are. They call themselves the Trumpettes, as they are putting on the show and shine. And they are shining bright out there. Ashley and Whitney watching their drivers pull up to the ready stripe. Jeff Cameron in the pre-stage position. Here comes Clay, bringing the Still Crazy car up. Opposite ends of Texas, the Dooley & Sons car from Houston. Still Crazy car from up around Amarillo in Dumas, Texas. Staged up and Still Crazy goes down the racetrack. 4:27, that's what he was talking about. 4:27, that will place him all the way up in the A field. Clay Cunningham from Dumas, Texas, going to love that ride. It's a 5:19 for the Magnolia Missile. So Jim Gifford just got bumped down into the... No, he didn't. Somebody just got bumped down into the B field. I'll have to let the computer sort that out, but we've got a big-time shuffling of the deck going on here in this last shot qualifying on Friday night at Mocan. 4:27, that's a personal best for Clay Cunningham. That's the quickest and fastest he's ever been down the racetrack, and you got to see it right here tonight. All right, race fans, let's hear it for our funny car crews as they go to get their drivers. We'll have the final numbers after the second round of qualifying. Remember, there's one more shot at it tomorrow. Spectator gates open at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Be sure to be here. Get yourself a spot, as Thunder at the Can happens at 11:30. We'll light up 100 race cars here on the property. That'll be one more roar that you will remember for a lifetime. That's Thunder at the Can at 11:30. Time trials begin at noon. If you're leaving us now, be careful and safe on your way home. We want to see you back here tomorrow, safe and sound, for some of the best drag racing the four-state areas has ever seen. Funny car chaos at Smokin' Mocan Dragway.